And once again, a big shout out to all of our supporters over at patreon.com/87A Survivor FM, to all of our $5 supporters, our editors, thank you so much. Our $10 supporters, our production managers, Florida, Big Dog, Shane Murphy, Tank Dazza, Hawks Hammer, and Cyanotic. Thank you all so much. Our producers, our $25 supporters, Jake Snow and Red Freedom. Our YouTube members, Kenny Baker, King Alobar, Cinnamon, Muddy Track Links, and probably one of the coolest names I've seen in here, Jake is Zero Cool. Nah, buddy, you're cool. In fact, you're a legend who each week helps the show go on, which we can't thank you enough for all of your support, even just by watching or listening each week to the podcast, and we hope you enjoy this week's show. Also, a big shout out to all of the team behind the show. There's obviously myself, Boydie, Marks, Lad, Archie, Fix Your Internet, Foxy, DanceofJesus, Jacob Mango, Daone, and Spud from DayZ Down Under. Thank you all. Links are in the description. Please go check them out and give them some support. All the best and enjoy the show. And we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome to episode 97 of the DayZ podcast, folks. We are joined today, as usual, by Marks and Lad. How you doing, boys?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. And Dumpgra is filling in for Archie, who's apparently got the flu at the moment.
Yeah.
How you doing, Dumpgra?
I'm doing pretty well.
What a week. What a couple of weeks. I missed last week because I slept in, and but we're back on track today. No guest today, folks. We did have someone who we were talking to, but they want to keep their stuff kind of private for the moment. So you just have to make do with the usual crew, plus Dumpy tonight. Fair bit's been happening in the last week or so. Obviously, there's been my announcement, but we'll talk about that more towards the end. We've got some stuff in the agenda this week. Probably the big one to start off with is the community spotlight.
Yeah, it was actually quite an interesting one.
It was. Give me a sec. Let me just bring that up. Find it over on Twitter. Oh, no, not DayZ Japan. We want DayZ. There we go. Now, share my screen. So the first thing they talk about is the Karma Crew Livonia server. Anyone played it?
Not yet. And actually, no, not yet, no.
I played a small bit of it, but I'm not a huge fan of Livonia, so I'm not really going to comment much on it.
What about you, Dumpgra? You had a go at it?
No, I've not played it, but I had a personal tour from Minder himself. He actually asked me to be on his server team. Unfortunately, I decided to decline. But it was really cool. He had a lot of cool ideas. Lots of military zones spread throughout it. It was a very interesting take on Livonia, but definitely interesting.
Let's have a look at their trailer. That looks pretty cool. Like a Minder loves and Toprek love their tripwires, so their wires between buildings, don't they?
Aye.
I've seen so many
Wires
clips
are
of
fun
those
to
guys
look at.
running them. Not a bad little clip there. Yeah, like we've talked about many a time, though, things like that really, really do help promote a mod or a map or anything along those lines. So very well done editing there. I wonder who edited that.
No idea, but I think it might have been Mike himself, actually, considering the videos on his channel.
Yeah. He's quite a talented man, that really.
Oh yeah, he's fucking phenomenal. Really, really good stuff. I have to actually try and dedicate some time to give the server a shot, because I don't typically play in the Karma Crew servers at all. So I think it'll be a good shout.
Neither do I, but that's more just a ping issue for me. I'm not sure if they have any in the US, but yeah.
I think they only have the one server, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's EU.
Yep.
Yeah.
What else did they talk about in here? The Queens of the Castle event. We talked about that a fair bit as well. It was fucking amazing. Did any of you guys watch Vigilante Gamer's video that he did from footage from the event?
No. I wasn't aware he'd done one.
He's got this really cool video about running the rabbit, how to do a room clearance as a duo. And when I was watching Army Zed's video, I saw two of the girls actually did an almost picture perfect slicing the pie, as he calls it, or running the rabbit. And I sent it through to him, and he actually did a video on it that... why am I typing in? Vigilante Gamer. Run the rabbit. It's only 1 minute 57.
Oh my God!
Oh, he's about to spring in.
I've lifted this clip from a ladies-only event called Queen of the Castle. You can check it out on Amish Zed's YouTube channel. I've talked about running the rabbit before, and this is an interesting case study because this is not happening in a corner-fed room. It's actually a center-fed room. You can see as the first player comes in, she doesn't run in a straight line to the opposite side of the room. She actually takes a right-hand turn, and I think she might be checking that right corner because this can't be cleared from the outside before they come in. I don't know if she's run in and followed that wall to the right for this reason, but if she did, it's probably her way of dealing with that problem. So she follows the wall all the way around to the right, and there's actually a little corner there, a little nook that she can use as cover, and that's really bad for the defender. The defender's got nowhere to go, nothing to hide behind, as the second player comes in the door and shuts down her central nervous system. And then immediately we've got this fire coming from the next level up, because they're fighting in this 3D space, this castle. So that's a really interesting real gameplay example of running the rabbit with a couple of extra elements added in. The center-fed room aspect and the corner that the first player can take cover behind.
He was so excited when I sent this through to him. They just nailed it, didn't they?
Absolutely, that's fucking phenomenal. Really well done.
And absolutely first class camera positioning by Amish said.
How they doing? No,
Yeah.
they didn't look anybody.
He was in the
Push
perfect
there.
position, ready for it, and was able to capture it in perfect time. But that's the sort of stuff that my mate Vigilante does. And he'd actually done a video when you go to his channel fairly recently where... I think it's this one here, Doors and Thresholds, Run the Rabbit, and he'd asked for real life, as in-game examples. And when I saw that one, I was like, Vig, man, you need to check this out. And he was like, oh my God, there is so much in this video. But that one point was just so beautifully done. You know, those girls, I don't know whether they planned it, whether they knew the tactic, but they just nailed it. It was one of the best breach and clears I've ever seen. Because I think they even had a third person in the background who was, you could see those green tracers shooting over the head, taking someone out up high. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, but yeah, that it was actually quite impressive. I mean, I haven't watched anything about it as of right now because I just haven't had the time. But watching that and, having it explained, really, really well done. And I don't know if it was intentional or if it's just something that came to instinct for that particular group.
Mm-hmm.
But which team won, actually?
Team Red.
With that, I'm not surprised.
I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, I've got to give it to the girls and Happy Bombs as well. They've really reinvigorated the DayZ community to start doing more events. The viewership for that event was amazing. Army said to me he had over 2,000 people at one stage watching him, and that was for a girls event, which you would think. If you believe modern media that, men hate female gamers and that, people weren't going to watch. But people fucking loved it. They absolutely loved the event.
I mean, considering they've already got one coming up for August.
Yeah.
It just goes to prove and how well received it was.
Mm-hmm.
And with it obviously being featured on the community spotlight, which, to be fair, we knew it was going to happen. It's absolutely really nice to even see, like, DayZ themselves is also acknowledging this kind of event.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. And, if anybody who hasn't seen the video, if you go onto the Community Spotlight page, you can also see the 1 hour, 22 minute long video that Amish said published about the event. So definitely give it a shot. I'm going to after the stream.
I watched it the day after, in between doing chores around the house and stuff like that. That's it there. The Deadly Women of DayZ, Queens of the Castle PvP event. Totally worth it. And Amish did a great job. But probably the only thing, I would have loved to have seen him and who was the other commentator?
I'm not too sure.
But they should have duo cast it. Because then they could have given each other tips on what was happening. And have you watched it yet, Dumpgra?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah. No, it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Hats off to Ariana for organising it. Happy Bombs for helping them see it through. And Amish and it was Dr. Dreist, I think it was the other commentator.
Name rings a bell, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
It's probably on the video.
Mm-hmm. And then, they're talking about it there, that they're looking at doing another one upcoming in August. So I think that'll be brilliant. I wonder what they're going to do for this one. Because the beautiful thing is as well, they would have learnt some things. I honestly think they all need to use VoIP only for it. Just because it adds that extra element and it makes it a bit better for the commentators as well. They can hear the teams talking their tactics through and things like that. I'm pretty sure Team Red did use VoIP the entire event, but some of the other teams were using Discord for their comms and things like that. You could issue everyone with a radio and give them a frequency, but then you've got the whole thing of someone might be listening in. I've said it before, they need to add more frequencies to the radios in DayZ. How many channels are there by default?
5 or 6, right?
I think it's a little bit more than 6.
8, 9, something like that.
Yeah, there needs to be 100. I don't know how hard that would be to implement, but they really, really need to add more, just so that there's it's not as easy for people to listen in to you if you and your squad pick a frequency, and that it's harder for them to find you.
Yeah, I can speak from the modding side that it's impossible to add any more frequencies for mods, so it would be definitely a dev thing to do. Also, I think that the voice over internet protocol in DayZ, while it's decent, it's not really, really reliable. So, I think maybe doing it in chat inside the thing might be hard during an event such as this. It requires perfect teamwork.
Yeah, but it adds an extra element to it, though, of difficulty. The whole having to yell and then change down to whisper, and there. But I can sort of see the point. But from a viewer's perspective, it was kind of frustrating at times. Amish or Dr. Dreas would be there watching a team, but you couldn't hear what they were talking about to get the oversight of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
There are some ways they can use Discord to do this. If you right-click on anyone in Discord, you can mute them, so they can mute all of the other teams but their own. And then Amish Zed, the people who are commentating on it, could be hearing people, and then they could be literally jumping in between channels or whatever to kind of give different perspectives.
I think the way, just by looking at that clip, the way it was done there, phenomenal. Really, really good.
But you guys know I'm a huge fan of VoIP. I just like VoIP because it creates opportunities and possibilities that might not have happened if everyone's just running around in Discord channels. Like Darkwing says in chat there, that encrypted radios would be awesome. I know that there are radios you can get which also basically they hop between frequencies, and then when a signal is picked up on that frequency, it locks into that one. So they're constantly roaming through all the frequencies until a transmission is heard, and then it locks into that one, and then it starts roaming again. That could be like a tier 4 loot item and rare as fuck on the map.
Huh.
That could be interesting, to say the least. I think that'd be pretty cool.
And the batteries, like Moonshine says in chat there, the batteries, they get chewed up way too fast. You'd have to have that long life batteries mod for the radios. Otherwise, it'd be a real pain in the ass, because that is one of the problems that radios have is, you can have it turned on and it goes dead and you just don't know. The static noise you get used to it, and then when it's not there, you don't really notice it. So they probably need to add it beeps or something as the battery's getting low to let you know that you need to change your battery. And
They definitely need to do something to make it a bit more immersive. I mean, the current VoIP system for radios is I think it's pretty good as of right now. It's really good for experiences. I do recall some time ago playing on the Malsk. I was eavesdropping on somebody's frequency, and they were trying to license and meet up with one of their friends.
Yep.
And they were talking about how they got killed before. So, and I saw this group at the Athena Research Institute, and I just said, "Hey, well, if you go to Athena, don't go to this place because you're gonna get killed." And they were like, "Who the hell?" They were like chatting shit at us, and I'm just like, "I know exactly where you are. You don't know where I am. You better shut your shit." And they certainly started shutting their shit.
King of Lobar, thank you so much, mate. I don't know whether you heard the announcement, but we'll be talking about that a bit later. But thank you so much for renewing your membership, buddy. Radios do need some love. They really do. The static should not. The static is one of the things that really fucking annoys me. Now, I've got tinnitus. People know what that is. That's that constant ringing in your ears. So I'm very sensitive to certain noises there. And radios, unless someone is transmitting something, radios don't make a noise. It's just frustrating, that constant static that comes over once you turn a radio on. I hate it with a passion. It just drives me fucking insane, to put it bluntly. And you need to push the talk button for the radio. So yes, that's the other thing. Once you turn a radio on, the minute you press VoIP, it's transmitting what you say. Whereas I totally agree, you need an actual transmit button as opposed to VoIP. It makes for some interesting interactions because people forget they've got their radio turned on. So
I think what could be done is that maybe an extra button input. So you've got your main VoIP, and then maybe another button on your keyboard is your radio VoIP.
Yep.
So when you use your radio VoIP, it also talks locally and the radio. But when you use your local VoIP, it's actually local. People on the radio can't hear. So I think that might be a good bet.
Mm-hmm.
Good way to go about it. I know, for example, like with Discord, like I've got, like with this mouse, I've got my VoIP connected to this button in Discord VoIP. That on that one. So what I could do is I can just, like, if anybody as well, who's got like the mouses with like 12 fucking buttons on the side.
Yep, like me.
You can easily just, yeah, there you go, and you easily just dedicate a button to each, and then there you go, sorted.
I've actually had someone teach me something, being the boomer that I am. I finally set it up so that I can actually play and be in Discord with people. Someone showed me that in Discord there's a function where you can use a button for your mute, and I've got the Corsair Scimitar with the 12 buttons on the side of it, and my number 5 is my push to talk button. So I've set that as my mute Discord button, so when I'm talking to someone in game, I'm not annoying the fuck out of everyone in the Discord with me. So yeah, that was pretty smart. Running Man's got a great video on the Corsair Scimitar Pro, how to set it up for DayZ. I don't think a lot of people realise, but he's got so many functions, from his leans to his ranging of his rifle, all set to buttons on his mouse. And the nice part of the feedback from that video was the amount of disabled gamers who actually said that his video has changed their life. People with, finger issues, maybe, I'm not sure, but a lot of them apparently struggle with mouse and keyboard. But his video said it made playing DayZ so much easier for them, because they could just have buttons associated with their mouse. So yeah, really cool video on his channel. Just look at the Running Man Corsair Scimitar Pro. And I don't even think it was a sponsored video either when he did it. This was years ago too.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I haven't heard of that video before.
Now, what else have we got? Happy Bombs has got a couple of events coming up. Survive in March and the Great Easter Animal Hunt in April. Classic survival format along with a twist of PvP elements among the teams of 2. The event will take place on the 19th of March. So what's that? A fortnight away. The second event is non-PvP and self-explanatory, since it's called the Great Easter Animal Hunt. It will be held on April 16th. So I think Happy Bombs is kind of making a bit of a name for himself as the go-to guy for good events in the DayZ community, which is good to see that someone has taken that mantle.
Well, that's it. It's good that there's somebody out there who's actually going ahead to do that. I've spoken to Happy Bombs a few times, and he seems like a really canny lad.
He is.
So, more props to him, and wish him the best for those events. I might have taken the non-PvP one. See how that bodes well, because I'm shit at PvP. So,
what's the event going on right now, Shug Dog?
Oh, there's one going on right now, is it?
Apparently.
Yeah, the Happy Bombs is doing an event, I think the 19th of this month.
Right.
Let me get the info. Hang on 1 second.
Well, that's the one
we
that's
just
the
talked
one
about
we're just
Survive.
talking about.
No. Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Survive Duos, but it's going to be on Melkart. Yeah, it's going to be on Melkart, and he was looking for people to do it. So, seems like it'll be a pretty good thing.
Then we've got Rampage Granny doing a boxing event. I've done them before. They're a lot of fun, the boxing events, and some familiar names in there. Kill Beans and Tenacious D and Kentucky, Fatal Goddess, Deathbringer. So that should be quite an interesting little event. They've got a nice little ring set up.
Clay
Clay
makes stands for that. Come on.
Yeah.
Looks like fun.
Yeah, no, that does look like fun as well. So that's going to be really, really cool. I want to talk about the video by Nitno, though. That if you just scroll up a little bit, there's a base building tips by Nitno.
Oh, is that this one?
Yeah, the one above.
That isn't a video.
Keep going.
Oh, there we
There
go.
we go. Yeah, so I mean, I know Dump here has his the building fortifications mod, which is really, really cool. But there's also a lot of servers out there, especially for vanilla, who obviously aren't going to be using mods for stuff like that. So I always encourage people to create videos about base building tips, even for the veterans, because there'll always be stuff that we forget about. So, and I know Nitno's done some really good videos in the past, talked to him a couple of times. So I definitely recommend people giving the video a watch. I mean, consider it was on the fucking community spotlight. So there you go. Definitely recommend people giving it a watch.
One of the good things for watching videos like this as well is, one of the problems I always faced when it came to building bases on maps is I don't do a lot of base raiding. I'm not familiar with all of the little exploits and glitches that are there in DayZ that people use. Things like, every server has rules around what you can and can't do. Stacking things like vehicle tires to gain height, and crouching, and players getting on the back and them standing up, and all these other sorts of things. Unless you're actively doing them, you don't know about them, and then you don't know how to counter them within the rules and the mods and the whatever settings are on the server. Whether it's got build anywhere or not. So there's a lot. It's very hard, and it's very frustrating, I know, for a lot of players on servers when they're constantly being raided, but they don't know what the weaknesses are. And of course, most people who raid a lot aren't going to share that. But the YouTubers are coming to the rescue there, and they're showing people, these weaknesses with their bases. Even down to things like I was building a base on Stewart Island, and I couldn't place a wall, and I knew what the problem was, but some people who might only be casual DayZ players, was because we had a tent too close. So the boxes around the items were clashing, and it wouldn't allow me to place it until I'd moved that tent. So all I had to do was pull the tent down, and then I was able to build the wall where I wanted to. But if you don't know those things, you just sit there and go, what the fuck is wrong with this game? We all know how finicky it used to be. They fixed it a bit with one of the recent mods. But if there was anything on the ground, like building inside those big warehouses where it had the concrete pipes and little bits of rubbish and that on the floor, was an absolute nightmare, because it just wouldn't let you place something if there was a piece of scrap metal on the ground or something like that.
Yeah.
Then when you come to
better.
Just knowing things like, this building here, it looks good, but there's so many weaknesses to it. All the windows on the side of it, you can boost in and crawl through those. Which to the average person, if they don't know how the mechanics of the game work, they won't realise that. I did that with some buildings. I didn't fence those off, and got raided, and I'm like, how the fuck did they get in?
Yeah, I think a few of those windows might be fixed, to crawl through, because they're a couple of updates ago now. Well, a long time ago.
There's still plenty of windows.
There is still plenty, but I know some of them were fixed. So
I was going to say, I'd like this video because it wasn't this, but it was a little while ago. He was talking, I didn't hear him, but I could tell he was talking about building the base stuff where people can't see from the outside. He was talking about like how you could see the truck could not be seen from the outside, and the fence was inside the doors. And that's one of the biggest things I always tell players, and this is really cool. He's emphasizing it. Build where people don't know you're a base by just looking at the building.
Yeah.
That's pretty good advice. I love that. I love that he reinforces that.
That's one of the issues with the flagpoles in the game, when you've got build anywhere, because you can't build them inside a house where they're going to go through the roof or something like that. It just won't let you. But the flagpoles are they're good because they on certain servers they give you things like it'll allow you to build anywhere within the radius of that flag, but it makes your base stick out like a fucking sore thumb. Big target, whereas you can build one inside these big warehouses and people won't know, but the big warehouses are a big attraction.
Yeah,
usually the bigger the base, the easier it is to raid.
Yep. And they're hard to lock down, especially if you don't have build anywhere on, and you don't have something that stops people building inside your flag zone, which is the modded servers, because people can just build a watchtower and crawl through those windows.
Boy, they a couple updates ago, they gave console servers and vanilla servers full access to the ability to use build anywhere on vanilla.
Yeah, exactly. So
There is a thing on that last building, that last industrial building that he was just in, the red brick one. In the video, you can see him place a fence down where the two ladders are, so you can't climb up on the roof and you can't climb up on the little thing. But all it takes is 6 grenades if you're on vanilla to blow that one wall off, and you can crawl through those windows up top. So what I would do is I'd build a fence down below, build another fence right at like the edge of that ladder, so you can't get up onto it, and I'd even airlock it a bit and build another one behind it or
Have
something
they actually
like that.
fixed that bug with the ladders and fences?
I don't know, but I'd build it as close as I could to it.
That knows what I'm talking
stop
about.
people
When you
getting
get off of a top of a ladder, if a fence is too close to it, you'll literally just go straight through the
Walk
fence.
through it, yeah. I'm not sure if they
I'm
fixed
not
that.
too sure
actually.
if they fixed that yet. No.
Yeah, I'm not.
Let's
I
try it
haven't
out.
tested.
But no, it was a really, really interesting video, especially for those people who just want a purely vanilla server. And that's something that you don't really see a lot nowadays. I know we talk about modding in modded servers quite a lot on the show, and we'll touch on vanilla. Obviously, Max, you sing vanilla's praises quite a bit sometimes. So it's always nice to see that there's actually content being made by people who accommodate for that section of the player base, especially for those on console. I'm pretty sure there can be some really good ideas that console players can utilize from this video. So,
well, console is all vanilla. I think, but
that's it. Obviously, yeah.
So the more vanilla tutorials and guides you do, the better.
Melvin in chat is saying that bug is fixed. He's tried it, the one with the getting off a ladder and going straight through a wall. Mate, the big one that they fixed was when they fixed the one where you could just drive a car up and get out of a car and you'd go straight through a wall. That was really bad back in the day.
I remember that one. That was fucked.
Such an exploiter. Should be ashamed.
No, I didn't know about it. And then one day I was in my own base and I did it and I was like, holy shit. And I jumped straight onto the DDU Discord and told Spud about it. And he goes, yeah, we've known about that one for ages. And I was like, He goes, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. It's got to be fixed by the mods. By the devs. And then they fixed it, which was good to see. Cool video here on Clay Ink's channel. A plethora of interesting custom locations. Here's our favourite with the train wreck bridge. I like that they're sharing these custom locations, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, because people, the vanilla maps are great, but to this day, I still love going onto a server where someone's done custom work and finding new locations. It's the same attraction with a new map, a new good map, like Melkart, which we'll be talking about soon. It's great just going through and, that's what they did with this location, or, wow, look at that. That's a cool idea. I've seen people do stuff with this bridge before. Turn it into like an old survivor camp or something like that. So that's pretty cool.
No, it's the one thing that I'm really happy with, with how far the DayZ editor has come, because it's just so much easier to get your ideas out there, and it, these kind of videos prove on how well things can come about, and you see all these different ideas that people have, and as you've seen, with like a little survivor area for people on that bridge. I never would have thought of that, to be honest. So it's really, really nice to see stuff like this get made and get showcased as well. So props to that. And I like it, and I'm watching the video, as I'm talking. And he's talking about his kind of his mindset, as far as I'm aware of, how he's going about it, why he's putting stuff where it is, and talking about background story, which is I always encourage people to do when they create content like this. You can't just haphazardly play stuff and then hope for the best. There's got to be an actual intent for both the server type, what type of server you're going for, and for players. So really, really happy with that. Really, really fucking cool.
DayZ Sea Shanty. Anyone listen to it?
I hate sea shanties, so no.
Let's listen to it.
DayZ what?
Just for lad.
I don't even know what that is.
It's in German.
DayZ zu spielen ist so wie
Love it.
Piratenapokalypse-Stil. Man schreibt herum von Süd nach Nord und trägt einiges fort. Am Anfang bleibt man noch recht.
Okay, if you want to hear the rest of it, go watch it. I always, that's why I've muted the other videos that we've watched and that, so people still go and watch them themselves. But that's cool. That's cool. There's been some really, really good DayZ songs done over the years.
Cool.
I
Is it
think there
posted
was
the
one
lyrics
for.
there?
Sorry.
Is the lyrics posted there?
Yeah,
That's the
they
English
translated
ones,
the
yeah.
lyrics.
Oh, we could have sang with them, lad.
No. No. Fuck off.
Be careful what you say out loud in DayZ. If you don't believe in jinxing, these two clips may change your mind. On the other hand, we might be
I
able to spin it
saw
as the
these
victims
clips.
of the shot, having excellent game sense and intuition. Whatever the case may be, this fortuitous moment is brilliant. You can see the shootee's perspective here.
Imagine if then, like, one of us now gets dropped.
We just get sniped.
I just get No, get down.
I think we've all had that happen to us at some stage in DayZ.
Oh, yes.
But apparently it was a two streamers.
It was, yep.
Can we both take a shot? There's two of them.
Which one?
Are you
At
the
the
green
tower
guy?
window.
Yeah, there's two in there. There's a green and a... Ready?
Right, 3, 2, 1. Fire!
Wow.
Very cool.
It's always good when you get those rare moments where you get someone who was recording or streaming and they share their perspectives and they overlap and you get to see it. Because that, to me, that's one of the beautiful things of DayZ is, I know a lot of people struggle with it, but it's just the not knowing what happened. And, you know, you've just got to learn to deal with it, that you'll never know what happened from the other perspective unless you get lucky and, you know, someone posts in a community Discord or something like that. But 99 times out of 100, you're just not going to know what happened. Yeah, I had something the other day where I was jumping on the DDU vanilla server, and one of the guys I run with, Zephyron, was in the Discord channel, but he wasn't talking in Discord, and I thought he must have just been muted or something like that because I could hear movement and outside of our base. And I thought, okay, if he doesn't know I'm here, I'm going to scare the fuck out of him. And I hear this friendly, and I'm like, hey, Zeph doesn't know it's me. So I fired my gun up and he just, fuck you, cunt, and fucking out of here. And I was like, wait, Zeph, and then he starts talking to Discord. I said, where are you? And he goes, I'm up at the Northwest Airfield or something like that. And I went, oh, okay. And then I actually found out who the person was outside the base. It was my mate Puffin Billy's. He's notorious on the server for leaving rude notes everywhere. Just little shanty style poems and limericks and things like that. But yeah. Should Dog, that would be the dream, mate. That would be the dream. And I'm really hoping that Happy Bombs or someone can get that, you know, where we get all the big names together. And, you know, DayZ, you know, those who watch the show long enough know how big of a fan I am of Survivor Games, the original Survivor Games. And it redefined what was possible on Twitch. It set records in its time for, you know, all of these massive streamers. And, you know, you could do a combination of the current crowd of people playing DayZ and get some of the other big names, your Shrouds and your fucking Golden Glove or whatever his name is. And
Gold Glove.
Who?
Gold Glove.
Gold Glove, that's it. Yeah, guys who were in the original Survivor Games.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get... Right, so I'll put it to you this way. There's a kind of a divide between content creators in the scene. A lot of them play modded and only play modded and wouldn't touch vanilla with a 6-foot pole. And then there's the people who play vanilla. Trying to get them all into one server and balance that, whether it be modded or vanilla, is just never going to work. It's going to be a pain. Back in the Survivor Games days, yes, it was easy because you only had one game and it was vanilla. There was no modded at the time, so it was easy to get everybody in there. You won't get the people like Shroud or them coming back because
the original Survivor games were done on Arma 2 DayZ mod.
Oh well, then yeah, but like it's still even on DayZ mod. It was like there's so many mods out there these days that are so different. Whereas on Arma 2, it was there was also a lot of mods, but there was what's the way to put it? Everybody kind of played a certain mod, like there was Epoch and there was these type of ones as well and stuff,
Everybody had their set preferences, and it was even then, as far as I can recall from stuff I've heard over the years, it was somewhat rare for all of them to come together for something like that.
Yeah.
And I would like to think that maybe for as a one-off event, they all do come together to give it a shot, to at least say, to give it a go, see what it's like for them. Will we ever see it happen?
The right people
Probably
behind
not.
it.
No.
It needs the support of the dev team of Bohemia to give it credibility. Maybe even some funding. As you know, I'm guessing that certain people probably have an appearance fee associated with them turning up to an event like that because they know it's going to draw viewers. Because
I do.
Yeah, I've got to pay you as well. I'll send
V-Bucks.
Yeah, V-Bucks. But no, I would love it too, Shug Dog. But for the time being, we can still just do the events that are being done. And Army showed that there's an appetite for it in the community. Well-run events with and there was so many people in that event I'd never heard of. To be honest, I didn't realise there were so many women streaming DayZ content. I knew of quite a few, but I didn't know of all of them. So, the more the merrier. I just can't wait. I'm trying to get something going locally here in Australia. Because it's always hard for us joining events, especially if they're EU-based. But, just for the local community. Like Cairo
hosted an event last week, and he's currently hosting one right now. That is live.
Mm-hmm.
And all the big creators were in that. You had Nazar, JLK was in it, all the big guys. But there was also a ton of streamers, and I think there was even some people who didn't even stream that were also in it. And it was great to see like that. And there was a lot of people there that I didn't know as well that were smaller streamers as well. And it's you don't realize how many small streamers there are until they're all grouped into an event or something like that.
Well, that's it, and it's a good thing for them to get themselves out there, because even when you're starting out small, it must be fucking terrifying to be like, oh my god, I'm playing an event with all these the big names and shit like that.
People there was people in there, and JLK joined the server, and these people were freaking the fuck out. They were standing next to JLK in game. It was hilarious to watch.
Oh my god, it's JLK.
It was funny.
A little bit starstruck, huh?
You can say that, yeah.
Now they talk about methods of conflict resolution. I found for the first one interesting. Rubber slugs always make the conversations more calm. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've picked up rubber slugs. They are fucking useless as tits on a bull to me. I experimented with them when they first came out, but I hate them. Because if you miss, the person doesn't know you fired a rubber slug. They just assume you've shot a shotgun at them. And so, I can't wait for him to introduce the taser. That needs to be a priority item for this year, is the taser.
Do you think we get it this year? I'd assume we would, right?
Nah.
I hope we do.
I don't think we will.
It's a civilian. Well, technically, it's like a civilian type. You can get him as a civilian, but police,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we get him.
Just imagine using that as a spawnable weapon.
Oh my god,
mate, that would be fucking amazing.
There'll be some content come out on that.
It'll be like the old sharpened stick, the great equalizer. You're a fully geared guy shooting freshies on the spawn. Say hello to my little friend. You just lost everything, bro. And you get to wake up to realise the humiliation as well.
I got fucking changed by a freshie, man.
Yeah.
Oh, bless them.
No, but Broken Legs is a good one. But because they were gone for so long, You know, back in the day, people used to regularly aim for the legs on people. I don't think a lot of people have gotten back into that meta yet. More often than not, they just shoot to kill.
Yeah, well, that's it. People, at least I've found that people will just want to kill the player, get the gear, and leave. They're not too bothered about the interactions. Whereas in the past, obviously, if you were to just break their legs, tie them up, wait for them to wake up, you got a good possibility for an interaction, and you can have a good laugh. I always recall a story one of my friends tells me, one of my personal friends, because he used to play the Arma 2 mod all the time. Him and a bunch of his friends, they had this group in this server, and they were very well known and disliked, because one thing they used to do is that they'd get a freshie from the course, they get them in the helicopter and take them somewhere. Right, we're going to give you stuff, but you're going to have to work for it. So they'd break their legs, and then make them crawl to this location to get their stuff. And one of them actually did. He did crawl all the way there. And they were waiting for him. And my mates were waiting for this guy. And they give him props to like, oh my god, you actually done it. Fair enough. Here's your stuff. And they killed him anyway. They killed him.
Oh, man.
Hey, cool.
That's funny. Can we go back to the rubber slug comment real quick? Boydie, why do you think you're going to be able to hit someone with a taser if you can't hit them with a rubber slug from a shotgun?
It's not about that. It's about immediately it's visible to them that you're using a less than lethal option. Whereas a shotgun, there's no way for them to determine what the round was that was fired at them. They don't know whether it was a slug, they don't know whether it was a buckshot, or they don't know whether it was a rubber round. So they're just going to assume that you were firing a lethal round at them.
Let's just be clear here. You don't want them to think that you're trying to capture them, but you do want them to know that you're capturing them. I hate to tell you, they're going to shoot you anyway.
Yeah,
it's easy.
Sometimes.
Shotgun suppressor.
Shotgun suppressor. We're not getting a fucking shotgun suppressor.
If you miss them with the shotgun, Boydie, the trick is you load one rubber, one buckshot.
Yeah.
And then you do the rest buckshot, because if you miss with your rubber, you got a real lethal weapon now.
We all know the truth here. Buddy's going to miss either way. He can't hit anyone with a 308 round from 4 meters away.
But no, some good options in there.
I joke.
It was good to see someone do a crafting video showcasing everything that you can craft.
Which was actually really interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen anybody do something like that at all. And it's really, really fucking cool.
I had the idea, but I wasn't fucking arsed.
I mean, there's a lot to go
It takes
through.
so long to do. Couldn't be bothered. I done one with when the things came out. The little craftable tents.
Yep.
Yeah.
I done a video on them when they came out, but I haven't never done one on everything.
Curious as to how many views he's got on this video. 4,709. And it's been out for damn. I thought it would have had more, to be honest.
And zero dislikes.
Wow.
Yeah, 0 dislikes. Yeah. No, that's good. And you see, a thing with that is a video like that won't explode overnight, but it will keep getting views for the next 2-3 years.
It's a slow burner. Yeah.
No, it's good someone did this, because there's a lot of recipes in DayZ that you only find if you actually do them. Not everyone has the time to click and drag everything over each other to find what the recipes are.
Yeah.
Not that they shouldn't, but they don't.
Screenshots at the month. Where was your screenshot? They mentioned you, lad, but you've got It's Mike, the Dems, and Huber.
You have to click on my name to access mine, because they're so fucking wide.
Oh, those widescreen ones, yeah.
Yeah, the 5120 by 1440 resolution ones. Yes.
Oh god, I was in comms when we were setting that stuff up.
Yeah.
I was wondering why yours wasn't actually included.
Yeah, I might DM something to say like, oh, was it actually an oversight, or was it you physically couldn't get my shots on?
I'd say
But yeah,
probably physically couldn't do it.
yeah. The course DanceofJesus is in the fucking chat like mine's wider. Yeah, for now. Just you fucking wait.
Oh god.
And
I'm gonna get.
Any spoilers in the background of that picture? Season 117. What the
No,
Livonia
probably
changed.
not.
That looks like a new building.
No, it's not.
Nah,
it's not a new
Livonia. The house with the
Glad
little weird
to beat
shed
DanceofJesus,
attached.
You need a billboard.
I'm not seeing the nuclear power plant in the background, so I'm kind of sad.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, fucking. What do you expect? Lazy dev. Fuck's sake. Fix your fucking game, DOJ.
Putting Chernobyl in the background, but here we are.
I don't recognise the location though.
It's one of those islands.
Yeah, okay, the
Yeah.
island. Yeah, I do recognise it then. Over on the eastern side of the northeastern side of the map. Yeah.
I do kind of dig the wallpaper of the months though that they've been doing for quite a while.
I really, really like them. Yeah, they've been absolutely spot on, and you can almost guarantee that DOJ is probably going to do one of them these days.
There's the tease the release date for 117 in those highlighted numbers.
Now he is in chat. Can you? I don't know whether he's allowed to now that he's a Bohemia employee, but we can't not. We didn't get to do it last week because I slept in. But congratulations to DanceofJesus.
Yes,
I was very
congrats.
torn. Two people who I've got a lot of respect for, Cabello and DanceofJesus, have both applied for it, and it was, I'd be happy if either of them. I'd love it if both of them, but that's just not reality. So DanceofJesus, congratulations, mate. I hope this job is everything you want it to be and more, mate. It's a pathway to bigger and better things for you in the future because you're such a nice guy. I'm honoured that I get to call you a friend, even if you are French.
That's my line.
It's
No,
good
but
baguettes.
it's oui. No, but yes, I mean, it's absolutely fucking fantastic to see one of like the more well-known people in the community. They've actually been able to get themselves settled in, and they're working on something they love. So absolutely props to him. And I've said it since fucking day one. I'm genuinely proud of the lad. Really, really am. And I couldn't think of anybody better to work on it. So props on him.
Yeah, fair play to him. We just need him to tease us when cars are being.
No.
Should be this week, next week, maybe.
No, we are not asking anything more. We respect this
Cough,
fucking
wink, wink.
practice.
DMs are open.
No, we've
No,
said to
on
him that we
about
won't, place any undue pressure on him. That just wouldn't be fair. If we were to do stuff like that, it'd be a lack of respect for him as a friend. So we won't be asking him anything. Yeah, we'll joke with him, of course. He's got one of the most wicked sense of humours. Yeah, it's kind of funny. One of the guys behind the DayZ EXP Twitter account is now one of the employees.
I want to see that bear. I want to see the bear in one of those month pictures.
I wondered, did he have to give up the Twitter? It's like
No,
can't be having real life devs on it now.
But no, it's but yeah. So if anybody's going to be asking us to ask him, it's not going to happen. As much as we'll want the Red 9 to come in, he's never going to let us know.
Oh, speaking about that, DanceofJesus, can you confirm the rumors of the devs aren't putting it in despite loud are true?
Yeah, he'll confirm that.
Oh no, that's
He'll
true.
confirm that.
That's true. Yeah, devs hate me. Fuck them.
What else we got on the agenda? Okay, so there was a post in Discord. Give me one sec. So it was about Bonnerwork put in a post. How big do you think the demand is for no basing servers? And it was an interesting discussion that I saw there. So I ended up going over, that's just a discussion in the topic discussion channel in the Discord, because I've got my opinions on it, but, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one and most of them smell like shit. So if I just quickly jump back, where is it? Weekly show agenda. So I did a poll on Twitter, looking at one aspect only, servers that allow base building or no base building. Would love to hear your feedback on this as well as to why. Base servers, no base servers, I play on both. The majority of people like servers, will play servers with bases. Was clear.
Yeah.
Bases are fun.
Yeah. They're not for everyone.
They absolutely are.
And I get the argument from some people that, they say that bases ruined DayZ. But bases were always a part of the original Arma 2 DayZ mod. For some of them were monstrosities. But some people like it. I know all the issues about people sit inside their bases and don't get out and interact and that. But there are so many community servers that are based around rating. Most of JLK's videos of late have been about him, how I rated this base and all the rest of it. People enjoy that content.
Archie. Archie's one for base building, base rating and such. So, there is a market for that. And, I think, because there are quite a few, the zero servers, the day one servers, they're quite popular, despite them being no base servers. And I think that's fine. And obviously, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, DayZ is one of those games where it's like, it caters to everybody at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely a good... How would I explain it? It's like there's definitely a valid reason for bases, because once you've got yourself geared up, what do you do then? Especially if you're like a solo player or even heck a group of players. So sure, once you've geared up, you can just hunt for PvP, but maybe you do want to build a base somewhere. Maybe there's a particular place where you want to if there's a particular place you want to build your base. I remember, I think it was one of JLK's videos where he decided, him and his mates, to build a base on one of the little islands outside of Electro. Yeah. And it was really, really good video.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be stuff like that. And, the poll definitely showed that there's going to be something to cater to both kind of players. So
we have to read Asmondian's comment, though, when Asmondian's one of those people that, when he talks, everyone should just shut up and listen, because he's just got such a great opinion on almost everything. And he said, the big problem, in my opinion, is that people rarely make settlements like DayZ Village back in the day, or some factions in DayZ Underground Core and such, where base building functions as a virtuous element to drive the general gameplay, providing with new and organic points of interest around the map. Almost every base building focused player simply feed an individual and at some point timid meta, and this feature ends up nullifying most of his interactions and movements. It is a stagnant and at times toxic gameplay in my experience, unless we're talking about RP servers and things like that. And I'm not even referring to the 95% base building system in modded servers, where there are paid massive fortresses, unraidable structures, raid days, C4s, raid tools that you should buy in a safe zone trader, and that kind of stuff. Even in that 5% of servers that aspire to have a minimally balanced modded base building approach, players tend to reduce their meta to fortifying their bases as much as possible, hoarding loot that will rarely be used until the day before the wipe, staying 3/4 of their gameplay time in the vicinity of their base, and scheduling raids at low pop times. I think there is even more genuine interactions and definitely a lot more breadth in gameplay experience on non-base building servers, because the important thing ends up being your character, the adventure, the encounters, the memory.
Yeah,
but not every. His statement is very good, but again, not everybody wants that.
No,
people want to
go. Things to ask. On no base servers, do they allow placements of tents and stuff?
Yeah, usually yes.
Well, that depends on the server.
Well, then the whole hoarding thing still is a factor. And then two, why are people thinking bases are a bad thing when you can make it so your economy has things that are counted in the economy? So the way the economy works in DayZ, if you set it up to work this way, is that everything in the economy has to be used, graded, or held by a player, whether it's in their tents or on their player, right? And like on certain servers, you can make it so only raiding tools and stuff aren't counted inside inventories and such. So if a person were to hoard stuff, you essentially create the desire to raid someone to get the items that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So base building, while yes, it's not for everyone, it does serve a great purpose if servers who are right. If a server doesn't count cargo and loot and everything else, that doesn't really matter if someone hoards, because guess what? You can get it anyway, and that does discourage interaction. But think of all the cool interaction videos, like you guys said with Archie and JK and stuff like that, where they're raiding and people log on and start defending their base and all that kind of stuff. That's interactions you would miss if you didn't have base building. So it's cool to see that there are servers with no base building and servers with base building, but I don't think it's a solid point of either have it or don't have it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's making that argument though. So there's definitely space for both kind of servers, and the way that the flexibility of these kind of settings, you can accommodate for all kinds of play styles, which is something that is obviously ideal. It's something that's really, really good with DayZ. And you are right. There are some points there that you make, and I do agree on. And
just grab a drink.
Yeah, for sure. And when it comes down to it, as long as people have the flexibility, is like, right, okay, you're playing on this server, it's got bases, but the economy is just done poorly because management doesn't know what they're doing, just go on another server. And that's literally it. You just play until you find the right server that works well for you, the economy is balanced correctly. And even though it's very fucking hard, nobody can perfect it. Even if it takes years, nobody can perfect it. Because there's always going to be something. But yeah,
I totally agree. I totally agree with what you say.
Yeah, see, a good thing with base building is it keeps people coming back because they have to check on their bases.
Yeah.
Every day. Like I've been playing Melkart recently, and it's a no base server. And after a certain amount of time, I just get bored of the map because, and it's not just from Melkart, but it's other maps that were like that as well, where you just end up kind of dying and repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. Whereas with a base, you're always either upgrading it or either defending it or doing whatever, getting loot for it, or building more storage for it, or whatever it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that aspect. Like I played Heroes Haven, which I'd done a series on, and I was base building that and stuff. And there were days where we would get a message from an ally that were like, yeah, your base is being raided right now. And we'd get on, have to defend it for 2 hours, then try and rebuild it again and gather resources while also watching our back all the time.
Yeah.
We'd be going out there raiding other people's bases, and sometimes they went wrong and sometimes they did well. So it's always a gamble. And if it goes wrong, you lose all your gear and you're fucked. So
well, that's it, yeah. And
it gives you, sorry to interrupt, but it gives you a target of what to do. Like, okay, I want to raid this base. Okay, we need this. So we had to go out and we spent days and days looking for grenades to be able to raid this base. Mm-hmm. And then it went wrong and we lost all those grenades, and then we have to start up over from scratch again.
A lot of it comes down to the economy of the server. If the raid tools are too easy to get, then it's easy for, like someone said in chat there, that one clan with the most players can easily dominate and ruin the experience for everyone else on that server. So it comes down to, a lot of the time, it's got to be set up well, so that everyone has a chance. One of the hard things as well is for solos to get a start, and lone wolf players. They might not have any friends on the server, or they might just prefer to play solo, and every time they get a start they get fucked over by a big faction or something like that. So it can become, like as Mondian said, quite toxic at times, but that ultimately comes down to the community to manage.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, every single kind of server is going to get that kind of like toxicity. They're going to get that particular group who, they're going to have one of the biggest bases. They're going to fling their, edicts around and that. But, if a community is, how do I say it? If it doesn't tolerate the toxicity, and the staff team and even the community themselves, they're like hard-footed on that. It's like, look, mate, you're being a twat. There's no fucking need for it. And if you're going to continue being like that, you can just find somewhere else to play, because we're not about that here.
Yeah.
And
I hate people who grief bases. I fucking hate. I saw a video. Zesty Polvo had a video out where he was. It's an interesting series. Rate that base, and he's done a kind of like a home improvement sort of show sort of thing. And in the video, they were talking about they're going to basically destroy everything in the base. And I left a comment that really loved the idea of the series, you know, raiding bases and showing people how you are getting into bases. But I don't know why you have to grief the base. That just kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
I like what Megan said in chat there as well. There is no perfect loot economy because everyone wants it different. If there is too much, then there really is no point. It's COD. And if it's too little, it's hard. And most people don't like hard.
Well, that's it.
And
I would like to point out that, like, people need to realize that the DayZ economy of servers is dynamic, and if a server owner is listening to the community as well as looking at how the community is playing on the server, they'll change the files accordingly to meet that dynamic change. If there's a big group with a big base that's hoarding all of the raid mechanics, maybe you should turn up the raid tools a little bit, because then that gives the fairness back. Because it's all about the time it takes to build a base and the time it takes to raid a base, and the availability of the materials for both is the balance that you look for.
Now, there's the interesting one as well.
Economies.
Thoughts about online only raiding. Someone's online is going to be not online for you. We're a global community. I'm in Australia. If I'm playing on a US server, my online time is morning for the Americas.
A rule like that is stupid, in my opinion. Because you're just like, it's meant to be an open world game. Do whatever you want, and if you're restricting stuff like that, you know, what's the way to do it? If you're not setting your base up right to make it as hard as difficult for somebody to raid, or if you're not checking it, like when I had my base back on the Hero Saving server, I was hopping on every morning checking it, and then I was hopping on during the days as well checking it as well to make sure it was all there. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're not willing to do that and put in that time and just crying about it that you want, you know, certain online rating, it's just hard to balance. You can't do it.
That said, there are some people who, you could do that raid at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, but you got to get some gear. But some of my best memories have been, epic online battles. There's that video that I shared the other week that Prestige put out, which showcased the raid I did on the DayZ Down Under server that turned into an absolute shit fight afterwards. But we deliberately chose to do it during the highest peak time because it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And, some people get so obsessed with the loot side of the game and, sitting in their little dungeon, counting their gold and their treasure and all the rest of it. Whereas that was the last thing that we were interested in. We just wanted to have fun. And, oh, my God, we had fun. People dying,
like they're always good.
We got separated, and it was just fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It adds more like tension to a fight when it's online. It's always nice, kind of doing the ones that like when you plan, and it's like I've done ones before. We've planned and we've been on at 6 a.m. when we know there's not going to be many people on to try and get this raid, just to annoy this clan. And it's the joys of DayZ. You can do what you want on it. If you want to raid them when they're offline at 6 in the morning, do that. If you want to raid them when they're online, do that as well.
Well, that's it. Online only raiding. I just think if you want to raid somebody, you fucking raid somebody. You don't wait around. As long as it's, how would I say it? As long as you're not like glitch raiding or whatever, you're not exploiting game mechanics or anything like that to do a naughty boy raid, then who gives a shit, right? And I know there's some servers out there which will enforce raid times and stuff like that, but I just don't see the point of it. It's like, yeah, sure, you can't expect, and people make the arguments like, oh, you can't expect us to stay on the server 24/7 to monitor and be based. And all I can say to that is like, wait, if you think you need to stay on the server 24/7, look after your gear, maybe you need to start reevaluating some things in your life, because yeah, sure, it's awesome to get a base going and that, but if you're really obsessed about your gear that much, nah, mate, you need to.
Now, I want to show you guys something as well.
Brutal.
Is anyone a ghillie on the road?
So this is, watch this part here. They're clearly on a truck.
Get my stamina. Are you ready?
It could be anywhere.
Step
everyone's
towards
scattered.
me. Yep.
I'm back at the industrial.
That's right.
North Industrial,
Both of you come back one step.
Maybe we'll...
Headshot. Is anyone a ghillie on the road? Is anyone a ghillie on the road?
We're one down.
Oh, it's fine. We're behind you to your...
Get fucked.
right left,
No, that's not the funny part.
shot from Western Tree Line. What the fuck is this truck?
I can't see the truck either.
Unless it's despawned.
No.
Do you think they shot at it?
They just want to restart, not...
Factory, that's us, is it?
Yeah.
Where did the truck go?
We visit the factories on north side. We just try to
shot
organize
it.
one of the Overwatch dudes.
You're walking around 100 meters.
Can someone maybe drive the other truck down there?
Yeah, what's our grenade count?
They ruined it.
We'll just blow
Yeah,
them.
but in 60 seconds?
Yeah, let's just blow that bottom half of the wall.
Yeah, once you run away, it could be 10 seconds. It'll despawn.
Vanilla vehicles have very, very low health.
Anyone got eyes on the truck?
Alright, pull in first
Yeah, it
bin.
only has a 1,000.
No one does.
Grenade
I
out.
don't even know where the truck is. Otherwise,
So basically the truck's gone then.
oh, fuck.
It's still down in the middle of the road.
Grenade.
But yeah, that was one of the things that happened on that event, was the truck just completely fucking disappeared on us in the middle of the raid. So, unless they've ruined it, but could you hear the shots?
No,
usually it's quite a few
seconds
shots.
later, so...
I think if they, I don't know if it's the fuel tank or something, unless the truck was already kind of, like the chassis of it was already...
Now, Spud, that truck was taken, the truck you're talking about that was taken was later in the raid. They drove off, they came and attacked us and drove off in another truck. And it was such a, just getting back to the original point, doing something crazy can add so much. You know, it can become a memorable moment for everyone. And yeah, sadly, this one's kind of diminishing that. But I've shared the video again. He put a lot of time and effort, and he deserves a lot more than 300 views on it for that video. But it was so many people's perspective, all tied up into one, just from the get-go. Vigilante Gamer's done a video on it as well, talking about, I think, trying to herd cats. The difficulty, I think we had they called us a Zerg squad. There was 21 of us. And
yeah, that's a clusterfuck right there.
Yeah, there was another memorable moment. I'm just trying to find it.
On that subject, talking about the raid times and everything else, another thing server owners should consider is if you use raid times or only online raiders, you limit the time zones people are able to play on your server and feel safe to do so, because those are set times. Now, somebody said you could do it only on weekends, but there is other options, like just a self-plug Damon's mod, the offline raid alarm. That's pretty darn cool too. But stuff like that could be helpful as well, and still allow.
I don't like that. I don't like that mod.
I know.
For the simple fact that it just, if you have to literally get a notification on your phone when your base is being raided, that's the joys of DayZ, is logging off and not knowing whether your base will be there when you wake up in the morning. I kind of like that fear about it and that kind of anxiety. Because when you log in and your base is there, oh, thank God, you're kind of happy about it. But if you log in and your base is gone, it's okay, well, time to start over again.
All the things people want realistic in DayZ, I find that the most silly.
Yeah.
you guys want realistic landmines, you want realistic this, but if you go to sleep in your base, wouldn't it be realistic for you to wake up to someone trying to bust down a wall?
Yep.
Now, I'm not dissing you, of course. You do have a valid point that people shouldn't be constantly looking at their phones waiting for that Discord notification.
It's a good option for people to be aware of, that there is this mod that you can add for those that want it. I don't know of any servers really using it though. Any big servers? Are there any?
No,
back to Lad's point.
I think a lot of them don't like it.
Yeah, it goes back to Lad's point. If you're constantly having to navigate or wait for someone to be online stuff into raid, then maybe you need to look at your real life issues too.
Well, that's it. I mean, when it comes to mods, I like that particular mod. I do like it. In concept, it's really fun. It is good. I like bridging the gap. Well, not bridging the gap, but I guess you could say I like with what you can do with modding that connects to some aspects, right?
Yeah.
One really great example is Iceblade's Cannabis Plus, how it connects to an API, and he gets notifications on certain particular items, right? Which is fantastic. And you know, if other people want to make similar mods for raids, that's perfectly fine. Because at the end of the day, if you want to play in a server that doesn't have that, then you can. If you want to play with a server that does have that, then you can. It all comes down to options at the end of the day. And there's some mods out there which I'll outright refuse to use. And I will not play a server that has them. So I just don't. Like I don't kick up a fuss or anything like that about it.
Yeah.
Now, I want to show you guys this clip here. This clip here. It was one of the more memorable moments.
No. I think Dan might have said he heard a bear.
Grass. Nice grass. Build a big base on that grass.
Yeah, and then one of our guys broke their leg, so they had to
Oh.
But then you guys...
Big base.
Yeah. I wasn't watching the stream, I watched it.
Yeah, you saw me die in the tunnel?
Yes, yeah, I did, yeah. I was like, oh, at least if I didn't get to the fucking seat down there, I'm going to watch Boydie do it.
Yeah, let me show you guys how it's done. Yeah.
Let me show you guys how it's done by you know it's going to go wrong. Well.
Holy shit, both of them died.
Yep.
Oh wow, they got the two. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they both died. I thought it was just your man in the back.
I know the first one woke up.
Oh, we only knocked him out.
Holy shit. Oh, he's still firing at him.
Is only the driver left? No, the passenger and the driver. Everyone else is dead in the back.
Everyone okay?
Stop weaving, mate. Go into the right-hand lane.
It was just, honest to God, it was one of the most memorable events, and just everything from that. Like, we deliberately drove through the main city of Banov because we know that the Banov's a PvP hotspot. We wanted to make a hive of activity to get, you know, our group all knew about it, and I imagine there was some leaking of information, but we chose the most ambitious target we could find, and yeah, just consider that when it comes to the community server you're playing on, folks. I'm always a big believer in community servers rely on, most importantly, the community. And a community can, you know, sadly, this event led to the downfall of the Banov server because people took it the wrong way. And yeah, we tried to do something to make it more memorable for everyone, but it turned into a shit fight and became quite toxic. And then no one was playing on the Banov server anymore, which was really fucking sad because it's such a great map. But if you do something right, and that's kind of where those communities, like Asmondian talks about, where they build. Not so much to build their own little fort to hoard all their loot, but they build something with a greater purpose in mind. You know, the village is the one that comes to mind, the village server. And then you've got DayZ Underground, which is a bit more role-play-ish. So I know that will turn a lot of people off. But yeah, you know, I've always got a penchant for doing player traders. It's a fucking nightmare to do, but you know, it's something I always dream of, is having a nice player trader base that people can come to and trade. And you know, the Northwest traders that I had back in the day, we used to always make sure we had gear for freshies that turned up, and you know, we'd just give them a basic rifle and a backpack and some meds and stuff like that and some food just to send them off on their way. And it was, you know, the reason we did it was, you know, most of those guys were solos. So if they found something good like raid tools or something like that, they'd come back to us as the first point of call. So it allowed us to do some nefarious operations behind the scene as well. But yeah, always consider what the actions you take will have on the community. G'day, Welton. How you doing, mate? I miss those days too, Moonshine. I do. But yeah, but it was interesting. You know, the majority of people do prefer or like to play on servers that have bases. Yeah, if you watched Twitch only, you would swear it was the other way around. But streamers, it's very, very hard for streamers to successfully do bases.
Exactly, because they'd be raided by an hour they go offline, the base would be gone.
Yep. I'll be honest, it's one of the reasons why I stopped streaming during the week. Because I like to do bases every now and then, or most of the time, to be honest. But it's just bad and it's unfair on the people I play with, because there are shit cunts who will take advantage of it.
Even when we were recording and I was releasing videos and showed my base location, like we were still getting like our base was being kind of sniped from a distance and stuff like that. So you have to be careful of what you show. Like, and I've learned my lesson now from that. And I'm like, I won't show my base location in any videos, or try not to as best as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a rough one. That's why most streamers don't do it. It's just not possible.
Mm-hmm. Very, very hard thing to do. But the majority of the player base like it.
Yep.
What else have we got there? Melkart, the new map Melkart. So you've been playing it, Marks.
Yeah. I've been streaming it a lot. I streamed it twice, I think, so far. It's fun. It's an island, so it's like Stewart Island. I don't know if it's bigger or smaller. I don't know the sizes of it. It's a very, very nice looking map. Like, it's actually, so this is what I learned in chat, is it's based off of an actual island near Rhode Island in America. I can't remember what the actual island is called itself, but it is apparently so accurate on a 1-to-1 scale that like it's been recognized as like, or it's been credited for how like accurate and detailed this map is to the real life thing. It plays really, really well.
I've been told it's a great map for PvP.
Yeah, like there's a massive airfield on it. We were PvPing on it quite a bit. We got sniped like mad. But then the city as well, the actual city of Melkart itself is crazy, and it's surrounded by mountains and you have apartment buildings there. And like yesterday, we were on it, and we got sniped by a person that must have been 500-600 meters away. We couldn't see him at all. He was like on a mountain or something, and he was just sniping at us. And it was frustrating to get sniped by him, but it would be a good map to see more PvP on. I was hoping there'd be like a heavily modded server out there that was kind of full, that I could hop on and just see what Melkart would be like in a PvP, server like that. Just, why not? But they're all the ones out there are like pretty much vanilla. But it is a fun map if you want to try something different. It's an island.
It's quite small. Island.
Block Island might be the one, yeah, the name of it. But apparently it's very, very accurate and very, very close to the real thing.
So what I heard Mark you saying about the map is you personally want everyone to jump on a server you're on so they can come kill you.
No, because I've had that. No, the server. I had to wait in a 20-player queue to get into the server yesterday.
I'm teasing you.
It was insane, but it's a good map if you want something new to run around on. I'd recommend it. It does get kind of tedious after a while if you keep getting one tapped, and because only like 2, maybe 3 spawns on the entire map, so everybody kind of spawns there. So you want to get out of those spawn towns as fast as you can and head to the other side of the map as quickly as you can to get away from all the craziness.
I was privy to one of your streams, and it looked like there was a lot of tall grass, and somebody mentioned it was like swampish areas that were giving the tall grass. Can you tell us about, like, maybe a cool location you got to go to or something?
I don't have any really cool locations that I can name of because I don't know the name of the places, but they have the tall grass, like, and the only place I can say that as like is Extra K had the same tall grass when you ran through some of their fields. It's the same model as that, I'm nearly certain. It's like on the shorelines of stuff and everything like that, and it is a really cool thing to see. It's when you go out to a modded map and it looks or feels like Cherno or Livonia.
Mm-hmm.
This one doesn't feel like either.
They don't have it on Eyes of Vibe yet.
No, it's not on Eyes of Vibe yet.
That's really cool that you don't get that feeling though.
They have an actual map. Let me see if I can find it. I think I liked it on Twitter. They have like an in-game map that you can pick up. But they don't have one.
Honestly, I kind of think it's good that they don't have it on Eyes of Vibe yet.
It's a very easy map to learn. Like after my first run, I knew like how to get back and stuff. It's quite easy to learn. So
I've took a look at it. I haven't played it properly, so I can't really give an opinion on the gameplay side. but and this is only a small nitpick.
Linked in chat, buddy. So, there.
But a lot of the trees and the bushes and grass and stuff like that, they all face the same exact way.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
They're not randomized.
I didn't notice that until somebody mentioned it in chat. And
yeah, it's such a small thing, but I had a quick look and I talked to a few people about it, and they were like, "Yeah, this is pretty, way to see." So I hope he goes in and starts randomizing some things, because when you do maps and stuff like that, you can randomize how things spawn, right? In terms of like the objects, like trees, and it's how devs have done it. They use a lot of the same models, but they use different sizes, so the different scales, different rotations to make it look like there's a lot more models than they actually are. Melkart doesn't do that, weirdly enough. I don't know if it's just something that was pushed out there and just kind of forgotten about.
Maybe an oversight.
Maybe an oversight, yeah. So, actually, who's the person that done Melkart?
Let me check you now.
Their name is Ruluka.
Ruluka. So, yeah. So, I mean, I'm always a fan of new maps coming out. And from the sounds of it, it has been very well received, which is great. And it actually looks complete, which is fantastic as well. And so I do hope the best for it. That's the only criticism I can really say about it until I actually play it. So, because
for me, when I was playing it, I didn't even notice it. I'm not going to lie.
No, that's it, yeah.
I had no idea about it. Because I just get on to play the game. I don't really care about the trees and stuff. But if you are a map maker or know what to look for, yeah, it can be a bit annoying. But it's still a good map either way.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, I do it with all new maps that come out. I always have a sneak little peek on how it looks and whatnot, and how it feels, before I actually jump in. Because obviously there's two different aspects to the way that I see it. And I was quite happy with what I saw. So I do hope, like I said, I do hope the best for it, but I do hope he continues to improve it and, maybe expand upon it, maybe takes it in his own direction. So that would be pretty ideal.
Yeah, I like the way that it's an island.
Mm-hmm. I would like to see more unique assets, though. I'm
going to say something crazy here now, and you're not going to like me for it.
You don't care about the lack.
I don't like when people use unique assets or custom assets, because the scaling on them is so fucked. Like, when you walk into a building and you're like a midget when you walk into it.
No, I completely agree.
That pisses me off. I'm like, I'd rather have it just vanilla. It would be cool to have assets, but when the scaling is so wrong, it turns me off it.
Well, that's it. But that obviously comes down to the person who makes those kind of assets. If they don't know the correct scaling, then it can't be helped. And they can only eyeball it so much. And trust me, I know a lot about fucking eyeballing when it comes to modeling. Holy shit! But no, I do kind of agree with you. There are a few maps out there which they've got custom buildings in, but the scaling feels a bit weird. The top of the door frame is like hitting the top of your head or clipping through it.
Or it's too big or something, or like it's just really tall.
Yeah.
The problem is, the problem with that, Marks? Money.
What?
Custom assets cost money. Unless you are the sort of person who can make that stuff from scratch, it's going to cost you a shit ton of money. And modders, #adopt a modder, modders just don't get the financial support that content creators do. So
there's a good way
do.
There's a way to do that then, and no, I'm just going off but you could technically use vanilla assets, and then down the road, say you got a load of donations and save them up or whatever, then put them, invest them into custom assets or whatever, and either expand your map or replace some things, stuff like that.
But then the hype dies down on a map, and people just end up always going back to good old Churnerus.
Yeah, I'm already sick of the map. I've played it a week and I'm already sick of it. But that's just because it's just, there's nothing much to do. You run around, die. So it gets a bit annoying after a while.
Yes, DanceofJesus, you are indeed an adopted modder.
you got adopted by Big Daddy, Sugar Daddy. But no, again, I'm just happy to see, more options. People do like to mix it up and play different maps from time to time. DayZ Down Under usually does a poll to get a feel for what the whole community want. And Livonia, as great as I think it is, it suffers from a paywall, whereas all of these free community mods, everyone can get access to them who's on PC. So it's just, I love it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, I do hope that the map continues getting some good development and some more unique things get introduced. So, props to it, I really can't wait to see what else happens with it.
What else have we got?
The Bohemia charity bundle.
Yes, let me go to the Bohemia Twitter. So there's a couple of things we're going to talk about here.
It was very good to see them do this, by the way. Nice to see that they're supporting a good cause.
Kind of funny that they've got the Laws of War DLC that they can promote with this. My son's played it. He said it was pretty good.
I mean, what better way to promote war DLC with an actual war?
And they've even got a link to people can donate directly to the charity that they're donating to. But kudos to them. I just think it's a good move. I feel for all of the people in Ukraine, and I also feel for the people in Russia. We've got Wellington in chat. My mate Call Me Rive. It's so fucking hard for these Russians who don't support the war, but they're the ones who are copying the most repercussions from it.
And I quickly, just on the topic of Wellington, his Twitter is now blocked in his country. He gave an update today on his Discord. So if you want to follow him, like to get his thumbnails or pictures and stuff like that, he linked his Instagram, and I'm just going to link it in both chats. So if you do want to follow him, be sure to give him a follow. Mm-hmm. But it is really bad. Like it's like I said in his Discord, it's rough on both sides. Especially for the people who didn't want it. And
there's a Russian content creator named No Fuckers, who I follow, and he's been hit hard. He's basically lost his income completely. And so many people are saying, well, the Russian people need to stand up, and it's like, guys, they're in Russia. It's very hard for them to speak out and not face repercussions. It's not as simple as in a more democratic country. But then again, look at what happened in Canada. They're freezing people's bank accounts.
Did you see that huge protest after they pushed the law? People would be put in prison for like 7 or 10 years or something. It was huge. So the Russian people are trying to do something about it, even though the repercussions are severe.
But we don't want to get too political here. But there's members of the community. Dumpgrad, you said you deal with a lot with Russians. They seem to like your mods the most.
Yeah, they're most of them are really nice people. Fun to talk to, joke around, stuff like that. Translation sometimes is hard, so I have a nice good friend called Shogath who translates for me. But most times they're really nice.
Yeah, they could do that, Legibus, but that's gonna. What's the population of Russia? 60-something million people. You get even 10 million of them leave, and that's a lot of pressure on the countries around them. And there's a lot of
it's not as easy.
Issues. Yeah,
it's not as easy now since the sanctions are in, because a lot of planes can't get into certain countries. I don't know about visas and all that stuff, but can't fly to any countries pretty much now at the moment if you're in Russia.
A lot of people probably wouldn't be happy to take Russians because there's a lot of everyone looks at the EU, for example, and thinks, oh, they all get along so well. There is so much historic enmity between some of these countries, especially in Eastern Europe. But yeah, it's sad, and I really do feel for these people who, you know. The other factor as well they've got, lack of us, is the ruble has plummeted in value. So, you know, even if they were to move, they don't have as much money as they may have had beforehand.
Let's just put it this way, just in case people aren't aware of how much it's tanked. The currency used in the game called Roblox is worth more than the ruble.
I think 1 ruble to a euro or something like that is like 1 cent. Like 1
Not even
cent.
that, yeah.
It's incredible how much it's plummeted in a matter of days.
It's spiked a bit again, but that'll be because people will be buying at the dip, because it'll come back up again eventually. So there's people capitalizing on it to make money. So that'll be pushing the value back up again. But yeah,
and it's like a thing like this, you know, it affects obviously Ukraine and Russia, but it affects all of Europe as well.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of fuel prices, and apparently Lad was saying food prices are about to skyrocket, and like fuel prices has gone up more than 50% or like 50 cents in the last like 6 days or something like that. It's insane how fast it's gone up.
Yeah, because Russia's obviously they've stopped exporting grain, which is a very vital thing for a lot of things in Europe and obviously the UK.
Plus they control a lot of the gas.
Well, there's that as well. That's another reason why it's going
and
up.
oil.
But, yeah, so it's all of these kind of things. People like to think, oh, well, it's over in Ukraine, Russia's not going to affect me. No, mate, you're going to fucking feel it soon enough, just as...
2.2 euros a litre. Holy shit.
Hit €2 here today.
It's about $1.90 Australian for a litre of fuel at the moment. But from what I understand, yeah, you guys in Europe have always paid more for fuel than we do here in Australia. But yeah,
it's just going up and up and up and up and up. There's no sign of it stopping anytime soon.
It's costing me about $130 to fill my truck, my ute. It's just fucking
It's currently £1.50 per litre.
I like what Moonshine said. Allow fuel to skyrocket here in my West Virginia town. Went to the store, asked for $5 worth of gas. He farted and gave me a receipt.
Nice.
Fuck's sake.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, but just don't forget the average Russians who don't support this stuff, and they're really fucking hurting financially because of these sanctions that are being put on them. Probably the last thing I'll say on it is, would we put these same sanctions on China if they were to invade Taiwan?
Yeah, that's getting a bit more political.
Mm-hmm.
No, because it's not in Europe.
Yeah.
Either way, let's not talk about that. Let's just continue on.
But yeah, good on Bohemia.
Kudos to Bohemia for raising some more money for some people who desperately need it. Yeah. Very sad to see what's happening. Very fucking sad to see. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Should we even talk about these lot? Like, is there any point?
All we're going to say is I announced at the Christmas show that we were partnering with Artesian Builds, or going to be partnering with them to do a PC giveaway. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to afford that, so I pulled the pin on that a while back. But I hadn't removed the pinned tweet from the 878 Survivor FM Twitter account. Yeah, I pulled that pinned tweet. For those who don't know, go and Google it, but they fucked the goat. They did something really shitty, and everyone is dropping them like fucking turds.
I saw Pastilia dropped him and everything there during the week as well. It's like big names are just dropping them. And
yeah,
Yeah.
So for context, and this is best as my memory can put it. So for anybody who isn't aware of Artesian Builds and what they do, they typically do, they do a lot of sponsorships, they do a lot of deals with content creators to create PCs, send them out to them, stuff like that. There was a particular content creator, I can't remember her name for the life of us.
Pia, I think it is.
The CEO, I believe it's the CEO of Artesian Builds, openly on stream in front of quite a lot of people decided to completely shit on her content and on her character. Obviously, a lot of people were not fucking happy about it. He made both a written and a video apology. People weren't happy about that either. Obviously, you shouldn't be fucking saying the stuff he said.
Yeah.
And as a response, a lot of content creators are now cutting ties with Artesian Builds. Boydie, as he said, we did initially have a plan to do the PC giveaway, but now we're no longer going to do that, which is fair enough because of the reasons just stated before. But if that was still going ahead, we would definitely not be fucking doing that now. So it's even gone as far that a YouTuber called Jay's 2 Cents, who's a absolutely amazing PC YouTuber, he reached out to this person who was affected and said, I will build you a PC right here, right fucking now. Give me your details and I'll send it over to you. And he has done it.
There was also some actual business stuff that Artesian Builds had that was found out during this drama. So in, I think, America, wherever it is, they have to hold a license to be able to do business in a certain county. That license has been expired since last November as well, which is obviously a bad thing. They put up apology videos that didn't really seem like apology videos.
It was more, we're sorry that you got offended.
Yeah. They apparently, their PCs have overheated when streamers got them. They just constantly overheat. So what I saw another tech YouTuber do, which I can't remember his name, but it was a TikTok, and they said what they do is they install a software, NVIDIA software, and then they bottleneck the GPUs by 10%. So it stops the overheating, which is obviously making PCs run really badly and lag and crash and do whatever else. So they're bottlenecking these PCs just to stop an overheating problem without actually fixing the problem that was causing the overheating. And just bad things like that and everything. And it just looks like, from what Buddy was saying there, that they're trying to sell the company, because I'm assuming it's just tanked recently. So,
well, they got a tweet there from an hour ago. At this point, we are examining a potential employee-led buyout of the company. Thank you for your support. Yeah, I don't know whether I'd want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. I would be very reluctant. They had an amazing concept. They built the stream, or the PCs live on stream, and people could donate, and the money that was donated or the subs that were bought for the channel, the revenue would go into upgrading the computer in some way. But they fucked the goat.
And as well, I saw that Intel Gaming tweeted about it as well, because they're a sponsor or something of them, and said that they're aware of the situation as well. So I could see another PC build company taking over the company, buying it and just merging it into one. That'd probably happen.
The whole thing, what they done was an absolutely fantastic concept of, but, and I know any kind of company can easily do the same, but it is a question of who's going to do that. But they wouldn't have to fucking do that if Artesian Builds weren't scummy pieces of shit. Well, I won't say much for the employees, because obviously, they weren't the ones that said, and obviously you can't really tell if their views represent the CEOs. But the CEO, no, you're a twat. So
you killed your company, mate. Congratulations. Well done.
Yeah. But
I just don't have time or patience for people who, they think, you've made it. You've made a fantastic company. You've got your fingers in a lot of pies to really do well for your company, and then you do that. What the fuck are you doing, man? You're an idiot.
Yeah, not the greatest thing in the world, but look,
that's
what it is. No. He made a mistake. He didn't deal with it right, or he shouldn't have said it in the first place, obviously. But it is what it is, and you live with your mistakes.
That's it. Yeah.
The last topic for those who just joined, is the 100th episode of the podcast will be my last. I'm in chats with the boys at the moment. It pretty much looks like the show will be going on, which is great, which is what I wanted to see. But I'm just going to be stepping away from it, folks. There's a lot of reasons why, but Scale Speeder probably summed it up the best in a message to me. That he used to do a photography podcast, and in the end, it started feeling like a chore. And I've been doing this almost 2 years now. I think for the 100th episode, I'm pretty sure the first episode was in like March or something. So I'm going to be stepping back. You know, maybe down the line I'll get that bug again. But for now, I just I need to step away, folks. My heart hasn't been in it. I think that's been clear to everyone. You know, Mark's even said I don't chat as much in our little group DMs and in the Discord, and you know, I just.
And that's it. And
yeah,
I'll say this right now in the open as well. Anytime you want to come back, even just for an episode, just to talk to somebody, just have a laugh, bring in, you know, get yourself in. You've always got a spot available, and I know for a lot of our community, they would love to see you back. And, you know, again, I'll say this right now, got a lot of respect for you for working on this for the past 2 years. And a lot of people, you know, they've reached out with a lot of support, a lot of positivity. And when it comes down to it, we will continue on. We will continue on. We'll see what we can do. And we'll obviously let you guys know. We'll let you guys know what happens. And then, you know, we'll just hope that when the transition is done, that you continue supporting us, but we'll never forget everything you've done for us, Boydie. So...
And the reason why I want you guys to carry on with it is I've always viewed it as it's not so much my show, it's the community show. And yeah, you can still talk to me. I'll still be in the Discord, but I'll be handing over the Twitch channel, the Twitter, because I've still got my own Twitch channel, my Boydie73 one. I never rebranded that one. I just created a new 87.8 Survivor FM. I'll probably keep the YouTube channel, you know, based on stuff Mark said to me and stuff like that. But because it's got all my old stuff on there as well. But I'll probably just rebrand it back to Boydie73. So you guys can create a 87.8 Survivor FM YouTube channel if you want. The Facebook page, I'll give that over as well. The Twitter account. So that, you know, as much as possible can still be carried on by the team that's going to take over. I'll probably even stay on as a moderator in the Discord, you know, or an admin. But I can't do the show anymore. There's, you know, there's not really anything going on in my personal life. I've got the Boomer Zone Discord as well. But I need to step back. DayZ's taken its toll on me. I still love the game, but yeah, you know, I think it needs some fresh people running it. And when I say fresh, you know, it's you guys who are still part of the show. But let's just see where you guys can take it. You know, for the record, the show's doing the best it's ever done. You know, the views are up, and the channel was getting a lot more subscribers. But yeah, we'll work all that stuff out down the line. And yeah, you know, it's not because I hate everyone, but it's just my heart hasn't been in it, and the show, the community deserves better than what I've been giving it of late. I've been umming and ahhing about this for ages, you know. Those who follow me on Twitter, I had a bit of a rant about a month ago. You know, I'm done with this shit, and you know, more it's about I just need to take a step back and just remember why I like gaming, and just enjoy myself. I've been playing a bit more World of Warships lately, enjoying that, and yeah, just
when a hobby becomes a, well, I'll say job for lack of a better word, but
you broke off there, Marks. We'll never get to know what he's. Oh, everyone's frozen. Can you guys still hear me? Well, that was anticlimactic, wasn't it? Lost everyone. Dumpgra, Lad, and Marks. No, it's not my internet choking. Maybe it's a Discord issue. So, yeah. Well, folks. I don't know how to do that. How do you do that? How do I change the region? Well, there we go.
Right, there we go. Right, I swapped the region to Sydney.
You know what? I'm off. It might have something to do with that. It might be just bugged or something.
What was it on?
It was on EU.
On where, sorry? EU?
Yeah, because the way it works is that it's based off the first person who joins, and I was the first person who joined.
Ah, so something wrong with the EU Discord server or something then?
More so your connection to the EU servers.
Yeah, because we were all fine, but it was just you that dropped.
Oh, so you guys could all hear each other and...
Yeah, we couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get my camera on again.
All right,
there we go. There we go. Yeah, you were saying, Marks, about it being a job.
Oh yeah, like when even though it's not a job for you, but when it feels like it becomes a job, when a hobby feels like it becomes a job, it takes the fun out of it. If that makes sense, it doesn't feel like a hobby no more, and it feels like you have to do it. And it's always good to take breaks and just just relax for a while. However long that break is, it doesn't matter. Just as long as mentally you're doing better because of it, then that's the good thing. So yeah. Oh, by the way, before we move on, I put out a tweet saying that I mightn't be able to do the show or like run it or whatever. I've removed that tweet since. I don't know who's going to run it yet, but we're going to work with Lad and Archie and whoever else, and hopefully try and get it running. So I deleted that tweet for that reason. I'm going to try my best. Well, we're all going to try our best to get it up and running and see.
And Dumpy would like to become a permanent co-host as well now.
Yeah, I would like to help keep it going. I mean,
yeah, we got a lot of. Go ahead,
sorry. The first time I met you, Boydie, was someone telling me about your little podcast thing, and way back then it was Archie, Ben, and
Brimstone,
Brickstone. Yes, yeah, you guys were all having fun and all that kind of stuff. And I remember one of the things you told me later on in our friendship, because we became really close friends, is that when you were first doing the podcast, you had an epiphany a couple of episodes in that this wasn't about you anymore. It was about the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I always loved that about you, that you were openly willing to admit that you started a podcast, maybe not for so good reasons, but then you quickly corrected your course and realized that it was about the whole community.
Yeah.
And I've always admired that statement from you. And it's really, really sad to see you take a step back, but I know it's for good reasons. And I love you to death, man.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's reached out to me. The support from people, just checking in to make sure I was okay and things like that. I miss Brim as well.
I was going to ask, is there any update on him?
No, haven't heard
since
boo
the
from
last
him.
show.
I've reached out a number of times, and I'm worried about him, to be honest. I really am.
I hope he's doing good.
He was instrumental in helping the show kick off. If you're ever watching this, Brim, reach out, buddy. Want to chat with you. I miss you. You were like Redshift says, you were funny as fuck, man. You were funny as fuck. I still remember his little stretching exercises and stuff like that on streams, and but I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited to see what you guys do. Your vision for the future of the show,
You're excited to become a viewer.
I am. I'm not going to lie. There was always a little part of me that I wished someone started up another podcast in competition to mine. Someone with a bigger reach, a bigger network, who could get more out there. Because I'm a controversial person. I say shit, and I piss people off. I'm blocked by fucking so many people because they don't like me. And, you're not going to like everyone. That's a fact of life. But I always wished that someone started one, because I used to love watching Altercast. I used to love watching Uncooper's Compass podcast. Just hearing people talk about the game. And, that's why I did the format that I did, where we get guests on. So it's not just the same people week in, week out talking about DayZ. It's a variety of people and different opinions coming on to talk about it. And I'm looking forward to just being able to sit back with a cuppa and watch it. Yeah. Love Brim busting your balls about how many days you could go without pissing people off. He had his little whiteboard with days since last incident. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was funny. That was very funny. But the show's evolved. I think I've taken it as far as I can take it, and now it's time to hand it over to someone else and see where they can take it. So we'll keep you guys updated as we nut stuff out behind the scenes. And I'm still going to be around. I'll probably still fire up my Boyd73 Twitch account every now and then, just to stay connected with people. Who knows? I might even do a reaction to the podcast.
Imagine.
A lot of pressure there, lads. Fuck.
25-minute rant from Boydie.
Yeah. But no. But I'm not gone this week. I've committed to doing 100 episodes. I think that's a milestone. Mark said, do you want to just call it quits now? And I went, no. It's like doing a marathon and quitting, 100 meters from the finish line. I would hate myself forever if I didn't at least see it through to the 100 episodes. So,
Well, that's it. It was so close for you. And the 100th episode will be a fucking fantastic send-off. And I really do hope everybody watching here tunes in for that. And like Boydie said, we're going to keep you guys updated about what is going to happen in the future of the podcast, who's exactly going to take over as the main host, who's going to be in Boydie's spot. But he will always be with us, always. Even behind the scenes, he's always going to be there to advise us. If we need any help with anything like that or any guidance, he's always going to be there. And, like I said, I'll say openly, I've got a lot of respect for you, Boydie, for doing this for so long. But we're not going to be ending anytime soon, folks. Not a chance. We're going to keep doing the podcast.
We're going to go 105 episodes and call it quits because we just couldn't be out.
Yes! Hell yes! And honestly, no, I really do hope that the podcast continues for another 100 episodes. But
So do I. I really wanted to. We built up, despite what people think of me, I think we built up one of the nicest communities around DayZ. We're open and we discuss issues that a lot of people don't want to discuss, and yeah. But no, fuck gamer, it's not ending. The show will go on. The show has to go on. Like people said, you know, we provide a service that not a lot of other people do. You know, yes, other streamers talk about stuff, but they don't talk about it like we do in a panel format, where we have differing opinions and you know, countenance different ideas and concepts, and you know, we shine the spotlight more on smaller creators and modders, because the big guys, they don't need us. They're already set. They're already you know, good to go. Whereas you know, it's always been about yeah, we do get big people on from time to time, but you know, the focus has always been on, you know, trying to help out the little guys and bring awareness to what they do. That also makes me think I have been considering doing more spotlight interviews. You know, just that one-to-one format that I do.
You can take them over. They're all yours. Like you can, like I think they would be. It'd be cool for you to do that and do it. No schedule, but just do one whenever you feel like doing one. If you can get, you know, the other person to do it.
Totally agree.
And that's kind of the thing. Yeah, I want the flexibility. Being locked into, and yeah, it's an early start, 6 a.m. And you know, like this morning, I was alarms going off from 4 a.m. in the morning because I'm an old fucker and it takes me forever to get out of bed. So yeah. Yeah. Guys, thank you all for your support so far.
And honestly, we couldn't have done it without you. And it's like when I came on as a permanent guest, you know, the support you guys gave me was absolutely fucking phenomenal. And I hope that you shared that enthusiasm for all of us going on. And we can't do it without you. And we do have a lot of love for everybody here who watches. And even who watches the VOD a few days later or any time. We really do love you. We really do appreciate you. And like I said, Boydie, you're going to be missed, but you're always going to be with us. So
yep, I'll be still hanging around, annoying the fuck out of everyone.
He'll be back in 5 episodes, guys. It's okay. No, but
and yep, like you said, they all are on Spotify. They're all on YouTube, so you can go and listen to them, all the old stuff whenever you want. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
We've a lot of things kind of planned. Hopefully, if we can get them into you know, things, but I'm not going to spoil anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be good.
Change the time.
Yes, more than likely. And maybe the day, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's 100% confirmed, but
yes,
if we do change anything.
Yeah, we'll keep everybody updated, and like I said, who's going to take over, new times and dates, what's going to happen, and obviously we'll talk with Boydie about the transfer and the handover, but we will keep everybody updated, so just be patient. We don't know exactly what's going to happen right now. There's a lot of ideas. We have talked already, but we will, like I said, we'll keep you updated, so just please be patient with us, and we'll show you what we can do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Excited for it. I genuinely am. I genuinely am. It's going to be nice being a viewer.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we can do.
I expect you to be a highly opinionated viewer.
Oh, fucking oath I will be. I'm never going to change.
I'm going to be like PMing you. I didn't hear you talking in the episode, Boydie. What's up?
Okay, guys. We'll call it quits there.
I wanted to do a shout out.
Oh, yeah, we've got to do spotlights. Yeah, individual spotlights. Go for it.
Oh, I would like to shout out Scale Speeder Gaming. He posted a video about talking about the people behind mods and stuff like that, and a simple explanation on how they work and all the effort that goes into them. A very short video, but I just wanted to give it a shout out, and not only because I'm the only mod that he actually goes into the workshop of, but because it was really cool to see him doing that.
And more people need to.
Yeah, I'll post the video inside a chat. Give me a second.
I don't watch a lot of big streamers. Do they talk much about modders and the people behind the mods?
Nope.
I found they talk about how good a mod is if they encounter it, like weapons or clothes or something like that. But that's about it. But that's fair. I'm pretty much.
They don't go
I'm
into
pretty
detail
sure a
or
lot of
anything.
streamers do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even when I do my little 30-second shout out when I stream DayZ, it's literally 30 seconds, and I try to explain the mod as fast as I can, and then tell them to give a like or whatever else. But it's not like a huge amount of time dedicated to it.
I am going to quickly bring something up. I think we probably need to discuss it since it's in the podcast Discord. Exile's bonnet work.
No, that's
we need to, because it's I saw the message about do you see what's in the topic discussion channel? So there's a screenshot getting around of him saying racist and homophobic words. Does that make him a racist and a homophobe? I don't know. I believe we all have it in us to use offensive words when we're angry and all the rest of it. But I don't agree with, pretty much everyone needs to be aware of everything. Mate, the jokes we say in my house, oh my fucking God, between my missus and my son, if people heard the stuff that we said as jokes between us, oh my fucking God, I'd get cancelled in a heartbeat. But that's it, they're jokes. This wasn't said in a joking format, though. This was said in a angry format. I don't condone it in any way, shape, or form. Do I say we ban him from the podcast Discord? I say no, because I don't know the background. All I've seen is a screenshot. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be my decision, because, yeah, it was a stupid thing to write, a very fucking stupid thing to write. The N word, the F word, it rhymes with maggots.
The content of the screenshot was despicable.
Yeah.
And you should really start to evaluate what you say and who you're saying it to, especially in this community. And you're going to burn a lot of bridges saying what was said if it turns out the screenshot wasn't doctored.
Especially when you have a lot of big eyes suddenly on your server, like Fresh Spawns made a video highlighting his server, and there were streamers doing it and stuff like that, and you had a big opportunity and a lot of eyes suddenly on your server, and you can't make mistakes like that. You can't. It's
an own goal.
You absolutely can't. We don't condone it. We don't condone what you said, and nobody in the community should be saying stuff like that.
No.
And
that's only if it's true, though, and it's something that you guys should be taking with a grain of salt, even if it does come from a notable, I think, streamer, right, Marks?
Streamer that posted it, yeah.
Yeah, but, he has a right to defend himself, and he has a right to be seen as somebody who actually didn't do that, and the photo was made up, I mean, he's getting some success, and we've seen things like this happen with servers that get some success. Some things come up that aren't true, and it becomes a bad light. So
I mean, if the evidence is there that it is doctored or whatever, then okay, fair enough. But if there is no evidence
all I ask in regards to it is, because we've only seen the screenshot of what's been said, we want, or at least if it continues, provide screenshots and videos of the actual conversation.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you're going to prove yourself and basically say, yep, no, whoever made this claim, they were bullshitting, because right now it's kind of not looking good. But I don't want to be talking about the topic anymore. I don't want to leave this episode on a bad note. So I just want to say again, Boydie, you are going to be missed. And everybody, please have patience with us. And we will be seeing you next weekend.
And next weekend, we have the one, the only EchoX coming back on. For those who don't know, Echo is one of the OGs of the what I like to call the DayZ Golden era. She's played with Jam Jar, Mr. Blackout, Mr. Moon, KD Wolf, and just all those legends from the early days of DayZ Standalone. I'm really excited that she's back in the DayZ game. She was part of the Queen to the Castle event, part of the winning team too, I believe. And I'm just really excited. Yeah, you guys know how much I love talking to the OGs of DayZ. So I'm really excited for that. That's going to be very, very cool. And the week after that, we will be getting Half Goblin on and doing the console episode that we had planned for last week that I missed. So yeah, very excited to get Echo on. A female always helps brighten up the ugly dials that you guys have to suffer through for 2 to 3 hours each week. That's why Mark's got voted the ugliest. That's why he doesn't use a webcam anymore. We made him turn it off as part of his contract.
It's true, yeah.
How I didn't get voted the ugliest with my gap tooth, I don't fucking know. Probably because I'm hung like a row bull ant. But yeah, no one got it. Oh, speaking of no one got it, was it you, Derlef, who did the tweet of the week? A political tweet. We should cancel the Kremlin's internet. We should call it no internet.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a dad joke right there.
But everyone missed it. Everyone missed it. Everyone just got straight into, the technicalities of it and all the rest of it. But I actually replied to, no, that wasn't him. No, it was Puddin' the Crow, who I follow on Twitter as well. And I actually sent him a message. I just said, mate, I got it. And that was comedy gold, internet. And he just spelled it INTERNJET, net. It was fucking awesome. Awesome. Loved it. Yeah. I do love it when someone says a joke and people miss it. It's like, okay, yeah, that was good. Makes you feel kind of special. I'm smart enough to get that joke. But yeah. Anyway, folks, we will see you all next week. Same time, same channels for now, as usual. And I don't have the wit for something like that. But yeah, all the best, everyone. And yeah, we will see you all next week. Say bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
And ciao for now.